All right. Thank you guys. Everybody joining us. Everybody join in from TikTok. Thank you. Pop on over. Pop on over to YouTube. We're live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube. We got Big B Dailies. Again, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central. We are doing a live show, man. Thank you guys. Come on, subscribe to the channel. We're having a lot of fun. We're also live on Facebook. So if you happen to be a friend of mine on Facebook, come on and join in. And again, come over to TikTok, come to YouTube, join both, subscribe to both. We're having a ton of fun. So let's figure out what's going on here, man. So today, let's talk first. We're talking this Noah Lyles versus the NBA. You know, I don't know what Noah Lyles is thinking. To be honest, I have no idea what he's thinking. I mean, do you guys know? I don't know what this guy is thinking. Um, to me, I think it's nuts. I think it's absolutely nuts. I mean, literally the biggest moment of his career, and he uses that moment and that platform to go and bash somebody else from another sport. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. I don't know why he's doing that. I don't understand why he's doing that. I don't know the meaning. I don't get the understanding. I mean, on TikTok, do you guys know? YouTube, do you guys know what's going on, Mr. Hawk? Yeah, I don't get it. Don't understand. I think it's nuts. I think it's absolutely nuts. So, I mean, first of all, he's wrong. Talking and saying that it's not a world sport. You can't be a world champion because there's not all these flags in the NBA. And I'm like, I mean, it's one of the dumber comments that I've heard in a long time, because the last time I checked, the NBA was littered with guys from other countries. Littered with guys from other countries. So they just happen to play in the best basketball league in the world, which happens to be in the United States of America. And there's a lot of people out there that saying, well, these soccer leagues, they don't call them world champ. Well, just because they don't doesn't mean that the NBA can't. That's number one. Just because they don't doesn't mean the NBA can't. So that's the first thing. The second thing would be, how do you figure it's not a world game? I just don't understand how you figure it's not a world game, because the world champions of the NBA is beating every other champion of any other league in the world. Okay. What a lot of people are trying to do, they're trying to confuse the two. They're trying to say that, well, the world game, and if you had to play against Greece or Italy, the NBA champs wouldn't be. That's something different. The Olympics is different. You're taking a country versus another country. Okay, well, that's the only world championship. No, it isn't. And they're trying to confuse basketball with individual sports like track. I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. What are we talking about here? Track and field is different. Basketball is different than track and field. So you can compare. You can't. I take that back. You can't compare the two. Talking about world champions. One's an individual sport, one's a team sport. I just, man, I don't get it. I don't get why people can't understand that part of it, or why Noah Lyles can't get it. I mean, he's wrong. He's 100% wrong. And not only that, to take time out of his day, out of his moment, to try to bash NBA players and NBA champions for absolutely no reason. I've heard a lot of people say, hey, it's a genius move. And I'm like, yeah, if it turns into dollars for him, yes, because nobody knew who he was 3 days ago, 4 days ago. Nobody knew who he was. Lots more people know who he is now, but they know him more for making an idiotic statement. So there's that. There's definitely that. And NBA, I mean, again, they're just talking about the team. The NBA champions the NBA is the best league in the world. the champion of the NBA is beating any other team of any other league in the world. That's happening. And it's not even close, so stop it. And so they can call themselves the world champ. My whole thing is, who cares? Who cares? They're not going to change it. So who cares? But good for him. If this is what his advisors told him to do on his platform to try to generate some dollars, more power to him, because everybody's talking about it. Now, if it doesn't transfer into any dollars, well, then now he's just an idiot that said something out of pocket for no reason. And hopefully that's not, I mean, if he has to be the villain and this is his way to get there and it can transfer or translate into some money for him, more power to him. So let's hope that happens. Because if it doesn't, again, he's just an idiot. I've also heard a lot of people compare it to the Sha'Carri Richardson situation. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Noah Lyles won. People were bad mouthing Sha'Carri Richardson because her attitude and her actions after she lost didn't have anything to do with weed. Nobody cared about that. It was how she was treating people and talking to people, talking bad on people for no reason after her pathetic performances. That's why people were on her. Noah Lyles won. Biggest moment in his career. And he chose to bash NBA guys. I don't get it. I don't agree with it. I think it's idiotic. Hopefully he doesn't pay the ultimate price for that, where he just goes into obscurity again. But we'll see. We'll see. Moving on. Okay. I made a post on this on Friday. I was out of town. We didn't have a live on Friday. But Trey Lance and the Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about it. I thought the trade was horrific for Dallas. One, you don't need them. That's number one. And I know what people are saying. Hey, man, they're just taking a flyer on the guy. Why do you need to take a flyer on a third string quarterback that has proven up to this point? I know he's been hurt, but in the games that he's played, he hadn't played well. And your backup quarterback has actually proven to be better, to be a competent backup. So why would you give a fourth round pick for a guy that you don't even know can play? That's just idiotic. And you have to guarantee $6 million to him over the next 2 years. I mean, it's like 6.5. Why would you do that? That $6 million couldn't go to a starting safety, a new left guard, somebody that can contribute to your football team, or maybe even two people. But instead, you wrap it up in a backup that you don't even know that can compete in the league. It's the Cowboys. It's the Cowboys, man. It's the Cowboys. And there has been plenty of people that have been on my head. Oh, Brian learned the game. What are you talking about? You don't know football. I don't know football because I know that you don't give up a fourth round draft pick for a third string quarterback that you don't even know if you can play. People on TikTok were bashing me. I'm like, what? I don't get it. And I'm never going to get it. It was a bad trade for the Cowboys. And nobody was, well, there was other teams involved. Hey, man, nobody was giving up more than a 6th round pick for him. Nobody. And the Cowboys, if you wanted them, you should have given them that. And even at that, it's still not a great trade, but at least you can see it. Okay, a 6th rounder, we'll take a flyer on him. But a 4th rounder? Come on. What are you doing? Like, literally, what are you doing? Horrible trade. And it's not Dak insurance. I see people saying it's Dak insurance. Dak has a backup quarterback that has proven to be better than Trey Lance. What are we talking about? The guy has started 6 games in his career. He's 5-1. That's what you want a backup quarterback to be. So what kind of insurance are we talking about? Well, Dak's almost gone. Dak's time's up. Are you nuts? First of all, you can't get out of Dak's contract for another 2 years. This year and next year. You can't get out of it. So this year, the dead money, if you were to just cut Dak or trade him, your dead money is $81 million. Next year, it's $60 million. So Dak is going to be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback this year and next year. That's happening. That's happening. So all you Cowboys fans out there in TikTok land, all you Cowboys fans out there everywhere, let me just say this to you. Dak Prescott is going to be your quarterback this year and next year, no matter what. Dak Prescott is going to be your quarterback this year and next year, no matter what. Jerry Jones is an idiot, but he's not eating $60 million to get rid of Dak. That's not going to happen. So, sorry. And even if he gets hurt, he's still going to be on the Cowboys roster this year and next year. So, stop it. Just stop it. And I know everybody's not familiar with salary cap stuff, and I don't even dig into it that much. But 30 seconds of research on what Dak's contract would have told you the Cowboys can't get rid of him. So for 2 years, you have Trey Lance, who has proven, or basically he has proven nothing. He has proven nothing. So you got this guy for a 4th round pick. Whew. Terrible, man. It's terrible. I wish I had better news for Cowboys fans. I wish I could say something nice about the trade. It's horrific. It's horrific. It's a horrific trade. There's no ifs, there's no ands, there's no buts. Horrific. We are live doing Big B Dailies, man. Thank you guys for joining in. We are live over on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. We are live on TikTok. Tell everybody about the show. We come on live 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central. I appreciate it, man. Let's see. So next, we are going to the Q&A section of the show. Thank you guys for joining. Let's see what kind of questions we got. We're going to start off over here on TikTok. Pass it around. Tell everybody again on TikTok. We're trying to get to 5,000 likes on the live today. We are coming up way short. Tap that screen. Share the like. All that good stuff, man. Let's see what we got. Who scores more TDs this year? Pickens or Pickett? I guess you said it's Pickens or Deontay. I think Pickens scores more touchdowns for the Steelers. I still think, but Deontay, I think, has a big bounce back year, especially in the touchdown department because he had 0 touchdowns last year. So, huge. I think both of them go off. I think Deontay will have more catches. Pickens will have more touchdowns. It'll be a toss-up on the yards, but Deontay Johnson will have a big bounce-back year. Huge. No problem, Jay. All I ask is for a follow. Tell 10 friends about the channel. Come join us over on YouTube, man. Steelers beating 49ers week 1. Yes. Mark it down. Mark it down. Big B bets will be coming back on Friday. Y'all remember us from last year. 52.6%, a little lower than 55 where you want to be, but we did all right. Big B bets coming back on Friday. We will absolutely have that game as one of the games that we bet next week in NFL, but we're in college and pro. So we'll be having some fun. Do the Chiefs win it all this year? Nope, James. That's not going to happen, bro. Especially if Chris Jones doesn't play. Now, here's what I will say. The Chiefs won a Super Bowl with a bad defense, and Chris Jones was on that defense. But the havoc that Chris Jones causes, what people have to account for, I don't think the Chiefs defense can withstand without him out there this year. I don't think so. Chris Jones isn't the entire defense, They still got good linebacker play, and their secondary will be better because they're younger, but they need Chris Jones. So they need Chris Jones. What do I think about players holding out? Trey asked. Good question, bro. I first off, if y'all don't know, I am pro player. I think players should go and get as much money as they can at all times. At all times. So if that means sometimes you got to hold out to do it, I get it. Now, what I am not an advocate for is players cutting off their nose to spite their face and holding out too long, giving up too much money, where it doesn't make sense. I'm not for that. I am not for that. But sometimes it's a means to an end. But I don't think you should give up more money than what you can get back. Like if Chris Jones, there was talk about him sitting out 8 games this year, he'll never make it. So it'll end up being $10 million that he's going to miss out on. When you add up the training camp fines and the game check fines, $10 million that he can never make back. Well, why would you give that up? And I know, well, he can sign, he can get guaranteed this, but you're never going to make that $10 million back. So no matter what. So that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So hopefully he gets paid. That's what I would hope for the Chiefs, that the Chiefs pay him. If I'm a Chiefs fan, I just hope the Chiefs pay him. But I don't think the Chiefs are going to. I think the Chiefs have drawn a line in the sand and said, we're not going over that line, man. Either you're in or you're out. Either you're in or you're out. And if you're in, great. This is what we'll give you. If you're out, thank you for your services. You're not going anywhere this year because you're under contract with us this year. So nothing is happening unless you play for the Chiefs. And if you don't want to, that's fine. We'll keep your game check. My favorite team is the Steelers. Thoughts on Jordan Love? I'm 2 ways on Jordan Love. And again, thank you guys for joining the live, man. Trying to get to 5,000 likes, 50 follows. We're a little behind, but we're getting there over here on TikTok. And if you want to join in and join the chat over on YouTube, come join the chat on YouTube, man. I appreciate it. It's Big B Sports Talk over there. But as far as Jordan Love is concerned, I don't think Jordan Love's great. I don't think he is. But we're going to find out. I was under the personal opinion that I think the Packers know that he's not great, and the Packers are trying to get Caleb Williams, and they're tanking for Williams. They got rid of Aaron Rodgers, and they're trying to start over. I've heard reports, though, that Jordan Love has looked good, that people like him, taking command of the huddle. So we'll see, man. We will see. We'll find out. We will find out shortly, too. Shortly. What else we got? We don't have a whole lot of chat going on YouTube today. Let's check out TikTok is popping. Thoughts on the Panthers this season? I think the Panthers max is 6 games that we win, man. So I think it's 6 games is the max that they win. Rank Randy Moss all time? 2. That's easy. Second. AFC North ranked. If you want the teams, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, Browns. If you're talking division, I think it's the toughest division. Buffed Up 34 over on YouTube. What is up, brother? I assume, brother. Maybe I shouldn't. My bad. Who wins the AFC West? The Chiefs. I mean, that's easy. I'm not wearing Ravens purple. No. This is a K-State shirt. I am not wearing Ravens purple. I'm a Steelers guy through and through. This is a K-State shirt. Sam Howell, I'm not a believer. I know there's been some reports, and I'm just not a believer on Sam Howell. I'm out. He may prove me wrong. And hopefully he does. Hopefully he plays well and he proves me wrong, but I'm not a believer in Sam Howell. So, man, that line, though, with Carolina, I get what they did last year. That line with Carolina is terrible. Thoughts on Colorado University since Dion took over as the head coach? Good question. I think that Colorado's top 22 players are really good and can compete with probably, not, I shouldn't say anybody, but they can compete. If football had no injuries and injuries literally didn't exist and you could just play your top 22 people, Colorado would be in the top 20 with that talent that they have in the top 22. But since football is a game of injuries, attrition is a real thing. They're not there yet. They don't have the quality depth yet to compete at the top levels. That's the problem with Colorado. They'll get there. So they will get there, just not there yet. Here we go. We here at TikTok, we got our first crazy question over here on the YouTube part of the chat. Start Trey Lance over or Colt McCoy in fantasy. And it's post, what is it? Apocalypse. See what I'm talking about? You see what the Cowboys fans, you see what these crazy trades do? Trey Lance or Colt McCoy. Unbelievable. I just don't, I don't understand it. They get you to ask crazy questions. So what do we got? The thoughts on the running back situation. Man, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Running backs are not, nothing's going to change with the running back situation until somebody wins a Super Bowl or two with a running back that is getting a lot of money. Until then, the NFL is a copycat league. The Chiefs have shown you get a quarterback, other weapons, running back. You don't need to be a guy or paying a guy that kind of money to win. Other teams have followed. They've done the same thing. I guess the Chiefs didn't necessarily start that, but yeah, until that changes, running backs are going to get the short end of the stick. It just period, point blank, that's going to happen. Browns fan, I'm sorry, bro. Sorry. Now, a lifetime of misery for you. As a Browns fan, whew, brutal. Top 3 wide receivers of all time: Moss, Megatron, and Rice. No, T.O.'s bigger than Megatron. And the order would be Rice, Moss, T.O. Jonathan Taylor, you think he'll be ready? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, there's a big difference between being in shape and football shape and then running back football shape. Huge difference. He hadn't been doing training camp. He hadn't been doing those things. I see a hammy. I mean, that spells hamstring, doesn't it? I mean, we know guys that hold out. They come back. They try to ramp it up super quick. And those soft tissue injuries. Always. I mean, it never fails. It never fails. Hopefully it does this year. Because I don't want anybody being hurt. I hate when guys get hurt, but happens every year. Trey Lance, QB1. See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? Hines Ward always being overlooked for what? He's not, I mean, I love Hines Ward as a Steelers fan, but he's not in the top 30 as far as top receivers ever. I mean, he's not in that conversation. Do I see a bounce back year for Deshaun Watson? That's a great question. I think so. Hopefully, it's not too much. because that'll put my Steelers in some trouble if it's too much. But hopefully it's not too much, man. So, all right, man. Thank you guys. I appreciate it again. Live on TikTok, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Time. If you're not on TikTok and you're not following me, please give me a follow. If you are, please join and jump over to YouTube. Go subscribe to the channel over there too, man. We have a lot of fun. Didn't have as many today, but we usually have a ton of questions over there over on the chat. So we're getting this thing going. Big B dailies. Remember, Big B bets coming back this Friday. Man. So I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.